The rebuttal I'm responding to is Melissa's argument that criminals should not receive punishment due to certain circumstances. The main argument in my partner's video was justified self defense. With this being said, in my debate video 1, I gave an example of justification: the Menendez brothers. If you are unfamiliar with their case, their parents were extremely wealthy. They lived in Los Angeles, California. On the outside, it seemed the brothers had everything. One was a national tennis player, and the other attended Princeton. However, one day they brutally murdered both their mom and their dad, and it wasn't until months later they were caught, but pleaded self defense in the case that their parents were abusing them. In this case, my view is that you can never know what truly is happening from an other side of any case if the other person is dead and cannot speak on their behalf. A crime is a crime, and murder is murder. One of the main claims made was that adults and adolescents have different mental capacities, which means their punishment for their crimes should be different. However, crime is crime, and at a young age, people are taught what's right and what's wrong. People can change over time, but when crime starts young, it's hard to fix later down the line with no punishment, and this has been proven throughout many horrible crimes. The other argument my partner had made was mental capacity. As we look at a mental state, we have to remember that it is fragile and comes with lots of territory. An act made upon someone who is mentally ill is challenging to punish. Why, you may ask? Well, in my first debate video 1, I had also mentioned James Holmes. He is notorious, known for his act of the Aurora shooting in Colorado, where he killed 12 people and injured 70. This was at a Batman premiere at a movie theater. Now, how is this relevant to the argument my partner is making about mental capacity? Well, James Holmes was going to be found guilty and punished to death. Now, previously in class, we talked about the death penalty in one of our discussions. My personal view is that in some cases, yes, the death penalty should be allowed. But in others, it depends on what the crime was and who had done it. I believe there is a time and a place and a person who deserves it, and people whose crimes do not. I know it was a pretty split discussion amongst my classmates. Now, James Holmes was scared to be put to death, so instead he pleaded insanity, where he was sentenced to life. The mental capacity of criminals is hard to tell where they truly are insane or fighting mental disabilities, or are they just trying to make it up to escape the crimes they committed and the severe punishments that come along with those crimes. This is an ongoing debate, but the personal take I have is that pleading insanity should not be a circumstance where criminals do not receive punishments. It's unfair to not only the victims' families, but the communities of people all over the world. It does a disgrace to the justice system. All crimes deserve a punishment because without law and order, the world will see an advantage point that will be taken to the new extreme.